Please, excuse me,
The
please, let's
host,
stay muted.
the host can mute everyone. The host can mute everyone and leave only
Yes.
the speaker.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Please, Carissa, do that. Happy to connect with you. And today we are having a very interesting topic, very topical topic as well, using AI ethically. And we're going to be joined by Professor Jane Opiri. She's joining us from the US. She'll tell us a bit about what she does, what she teaches. And we just ask that you be very engaging and ask questions. I know this is a topic that many universities as well are reflecting on how to use AI, where to use AI, and how even to develop strategies around that. So please listen in, and I want to warmly welcome Professor Jane Opiri to start off the session. Karibu sana, Prof. And over to you. Please let's stay muted so that we can hear each other and we can learn together. Thank you very much. Over to you, Prof.
Yes, thank you so much, Auleria, for this opportunity to just share what I'm doing with AI, what can help all of us. So I am Jane Opiri, and I am a professor, associate professor at the University of Arkansas in Pine Bluff, that is in Arkansas State. If you know where Bill Clinton was coming from, so I am in that state. So that is where I am, and I teach, we call it human sciences, which is home economics, those who the old way of, they used to call it home economics, but I am specifically in the fashion program. I teach fashion, textiles, and design. I also teach research methods for my seniors. Those are the fourth years. We call them here seniors, there we call them fourth years. So that is a little bit about me. Went to Kenyatta University for my first degree, came to the US for my master's and PhD, and I've been teaching here for some time. In addition to that, I love AI. Like, I'm so passionate about AI. I've done a little research on AI, presented in workshops in Caribbean, here in the US. And so just integrating AI in what I do in my teaching and in my research, I just wanted to share with my colleagues from Africa, the graduate students, other colleagues, on how you can use AI to save you time for other important things. Like, I always joke around with my students and say, the best thing that ever happened is AI. And I was like, how was life without AI? Like, it really saves a lot of your time. And so I look forward to us just engaging and getting to learn a few things that can help us as people in academia, people in the teaching space, wherever you are, just to save time for the most important things by using AI in areas that take most of our time. You know how you just writing a paper, you can take forever. Writing a grant, now with AI, you can just write a grant within a day and it can help you. And research has shown people who are using AI tools are actually getting their grants funded. I'm in the process of writing my first one with AI, and I hope I can get funded, although previously I've been funded without using AI. And so I believe now if I can use AI, I'm more likely to get more money for my research. So karibuni sana, and I look forward to an engaging session. If you have a question, just you can put in the chat, and I know the administrators will be able to read it out. I don't know everything. I am learning. And today, like today's AI would be I can say, tomorrow's AI is going to be better than today. So today is kind of like, they say the weakest AI is today. Tomorrow, they are working around AI every day. And so tomorrow's AI is going to be better. By the end of the year, the AI that will be there is going to even be better than what we are seeing today. So just know that. So every day is a learning thing, and I don't know everything, but we are going to learn, and I'll show you how I use it. And especially ChatGPT, which is the most common. I use other tools, but ChatGPT is the most common that I use. So I am assuming we all know what AI is. So I'm not going to start saying, oh, AI is, but we know AI is just that part, which is, I can say, it's the superhuman that we are using to save time. We have generative AI. Initially, we had people talking about prompts. Prompt engineering was like the best thing that ever happened. But now research has shown that as long as you tell AI what you want, AI is able to do what? AI is able to pick the keywords, and you can always tell it, ask me any question. So you don't need to cram the prompts and everything. You put your question there and you ask AI, ask me any question for clarification. And we will demonstrate that to see how that works. So I'll just share, I want to share my slides and then we just like get a preview of what we'll talk about, and then I will go in to demonstrate, because I know learners or people learn well when they get to see and not just by listening alone. So that would be the most important part of this discussion today. Let me share.
Ongido.
All right, so welcome again. I will be talking about using AI tools for research. And as said, I introduced myself, so we will move to the next slide. Okay.
The other one is Stevia.
So today, at least by the end of the lesson, the end of today, we should be in position just to be equipped. Oh, you can join. Auleria, the meeting has reached full capacity. Other people cannot join. What do we do?
We continue. First come, first serve.
Okay.
Okay, we will record the session and then
Yes.
they will have an opportunity to listen in. We are recording it. Yes,
Okay.
yes. We will work on having a higher Zoom capacity. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, because I'm receiving messages that people cannot join. Yeah, so unfortunate. Yeah. Okay, we'll continue. Yeah.
Excuse me. How if you take it to YouTube? You broadcast live on YouTube.
Me or Auleria?
Auleria.
Okay. The host can enable that, such that when someone finds it full, it can take them to YouTube live streaming.
Okay, maybe we can continue as Karista helps us to figure that out. Yeah.
All right, thank you. So by the end of this session, we should be able to use AI tools effectively for our literature review, our methodology design, and even data analysis, and apply responsibly, ethically, use of AI in our academic work, because most people are thinking that using AI is plagiarism, which could be true depending on how you're using it. Because if it's writing your whole paper, then actually that is plagiarism. But we can use AI responsibly and ethically and have the best results without having plagiarized. And then we have also some of the friendly, because in the US where they're developing most of the AI tools, and UK, some of the AI tools may not be very friendly to the African context, but we have those because of how they are done or they are made. We have those that are friendly for Africa. We shall look at them, and then we will also look at how you can strengthen your writing for clarity, impact with AI assistance. So you could have written your paper, yes, like you started from scratch, did everything, but you can ask AI to make it flow, to make it even aligned to a journal that you want to submit. You can ask AI to act as a reviewer, and AI can review for you and give you feedback for you to update your journal article or your writing, and then you can submit it to the journal that you have asked it to review for you. So we should be able to do this by the end of this session. And as I said again, I should be able to demonstrate so that you can go and do it on your own. So just to begin with, we can say these are the things that AI can and cannot do. So as scholars, as people who want to do the right thing, we want to use AI to summarize complex articles quickly. You know, an article you would read, like it has 30 pages. You take forever to read it. AI can summarize for us, generate research questions, suggest appropriate methodologies, assist with coding and statistical analysis, improve writing clarity, identify literature maps. But AI, to avoid us being plagiarism or being doing the wrong thing, we can say it should not replace our critical thinking. Yes, it should not replace our critical thinking. It should not serve as a co-author. Do not, AI, you know, AI is very interesting. It can generate or fabricate data for you. So you should not do that. You can ask it, it can do that, but make sure you're using the data that you need to use. And then additionally, when you're using AI, just so that I don't forget, if, for example, you're using your qualitative analysis, you have your data, your transcript, please make sure you delete any information that could identify your participants. Remember, one time the AI material can be open. You don't want to any things that are supposed to be private to be public. So always when you are using AI, make sure only material that can be public is the one that you are feeding with AI. Otherwise, any private material should not be put on AI, because there's a time, in fact, there was a glitch and people's data was out. And so people were worried because some of them had put like important documents on AI, things like their here they call them social security number. It's like your number. Once somebody gets that number, they can get loans, they can get anything with that number. So you don't want those numbers to be there. And also AI cannot replace your authentic fieldwork. And sometimes AI cannot understand your local context deeply. So it may not understand. And that is why, for example, when I use AI, I ask AI, I like to use ChatGPT. I want to ask ChatGPT, I ask it, ask me any question so that I am very sure that it has understood my question. So I always end my prompt with, ask me any question for clarification. And therefore, it will be able to ask me so that it's able to understand my context clearly. So remember, it may not be able to understand unless you do what? You do ask it. And then I can also say that AI cannot make ethical decisions for you. And so you are the specialist, you are the expert, you are the one who understands, you are the human in the loop. We call it the human in the loop. So at the end of it all, even after using AI, there must be a human in the loop. So even when people say that AI is going to take all the jobs, Yes, it will take some jobs. More jobs are going to be created, but the person who is using AI is going to survive because AI needs a human in the loop to be able to create the output that is required. And so we all know the research process. Of course, we have the topic development, we have the literature search. I'm just giving examples of some of the tools that are out there, but there are more than this. There are so many tools. There are over, 30,000 tools. People create tools every day. So there are so many tools out there, but these are just examples. But as you can see, ChatGPT is the most common one. It is hyped. Yes, if you get the paid version, it really does so much. So it is not the very best, but it's one of the good ones because it's able to do almost everything. And so if you are accessible to it, you can use it to do everything that is required in the research process, all the way from topic development, literature review, synthesis and framework, methodology, data analysis, writing and reviewing, and even finally dissemination, where you can create your PowerPoints and be able to present. For example, this PowerPoint that you are seeing, I created the notes and then I gave an AI tool. We call it Gamma.ai to help me. So the professors that are here, you don't need to suffer like creating all the lecturers, the professors, the tutors, creating your slides from scratch, thinking, looking for pictures. It just saves a lot of time. Once you have your material, you tell AI to create for you slides, and boom, within a second, you have enough slides to use for your class.
Daddy, you eat. Okay, enjoy, Daddy. Thank you. Okay. No,
Did you cut it into 4?
Yes.
Okay, it's in 4.
Yes.
Mr. Onyango, please mute yourself. Yeah, so I'm assuming we already have ideas, but I will also take you through the process of how you can get like an idea or a gap for your research. But for AI in literature review, it actually helps you. It accelerates the whole process. You can imagine you have to write an article, you have 20 papers to read, to understand where the gap is, to synthesize and to start writing. But with AI, where you can have you have your keywords, you have your title. When you enter and you ask ChatGPT, for example, I'll ask ChatGPT to search for the latest literature on this topic, literature between the last 5 years. Search for the literature and give me the links. And I must tell it must be the right, like it's true. Do not give me generic literature, generic research articles. So remember what you give it is like we used to be told when computers started, garbage in, garbage out. The same with AI. When you give it garbage, it's gonna give you garbage out. But then you tell it you want literature review for the last 5 years, and you have given it the keywords, and you tell ChatGPT, for example, this must be real research articles. Do not give me a generic, do not give me articles that do not exist. And so it will give you, and then you ask it to tell you, to download, to give you the links to those articles. And then we'll see again, I'll demonstrate, and you tell it now to create for you a synthesis table where you now have all the 10 papers on one column, and then the methods, the findings. And then once you have your table, you can now sit down. Remember, you are the critical thinker. This is your work. You want it to be your work. You don't want it to be ChatGPT's work. And then you can sit with your matrix, and now you can do your draft. Once you do your draft again, you can take your draft and ask it to help it flow. So apart from that, it can summarize for you the papers. It can identify the gaps. It can compare the studies that are out there side by side, patterns, contradictions. And then once the patterns are out, the contradictions are out, it has given you the matrices organizing your literature according to the themes, the methods, the findings. Now you have those tables and you can sit down without, I'm sorry, it's kind of a shortcut, but then that is life. Like if it can save you time by giving you the summary, then I don't need to read all the 30 pages because it has given me a summary. And so I know what that paper is all about. So in this way now you're ready to sit down and now create your skeleton of your paper and begin working on it. Yeah, so after you've done your skeleton, you have your literature review, you're ready, you are wondering, what method can I use? Again, just with the prompt, you can put out your prompt and ask it to help you. This is my study. Suggest the best method that I can use for this study. And remember always to ask it. Ask me a question for clarification. In that way, it will ask you a list of questions and then you clarify and it tells you the best method. And then you can also ask it, how do I sample? Create for me an interview guide to answer my research question. It will create for you the interview guide. And remember, it hallucinates. So you always have to go back and make sure that the questions that it has prompted for you are answering your research question. But it's always almost accurate. That is, the moments I've used it to generate for me my interview questions, they are always almost accurate. But remember, you are the human in the loop. So you must always come back and humanize it and make it your own. You can also ask it to create your conceptual frameworks to show you the relationship among the variables that you are using for the study. So as you can see, it's saving you a lot of time that you can now be in a position to just sit down now. You have your interview guides, your interview questions. You don't have to think through everything. But again, once you can also go the other way around. You can have a draft of your questions and give it and ask it to reframe for you these questions to make sure those interview questions will help in answering your research question. So it's you can always do both ways. But research has shown that the best way to do it is, as I said earlier, starting with what you have and feeding it to help you refresh, refine what you already have. But remember, you do not copy, never as a scholar, as a researcher, don't copy and paste from AI to your paper. Remember that. It will generate for you, it will prompt you. Can I write for you the literature review? You say yes. It will write for you. It will ask you, can I continue? It will just tempt you. But remember, you don't want to be flagged for plagiarism, and so don't copy and paste. There's another tool that they are able to use to see if you copied and pasted. But then that tool is also not 100%. So the professors, the lecturers that are on the call, please do not victimize your students because sometimes those tools are not accurate. Sometimes just give them the benefit of doubt or call them and ask them, okay, explain to me this. And if they did the work, they will explain to you. If they didn't do the work, then you'll catch them. So that is always the best way. When I suspect my students, I'll call them and ask them, okay, tell me, explain to me, how did you find out all this? And they will tell me, and I'll know whether they did it or they used AI to help them out. So AI can also do data analysis. Most of my research is qualitative. I love to listen. I love to understand phenomena. So I do more of interviews, focus group observations, but AI can do for you both the qualitative analysis and the quantitative analysis. It can code. We have Cloud.ai that does a lot of coding. We have ChatGPT, the paid version which is about, this side we pay $20 per month, which is like almost 2,500 Kenyan money. So when you pay for it, then that is when you get better services. And remember, the free version of AI, they are using it. So nothing comes for free. They entice you for free, but they want to get all the data. They want to use your data for training the AI, which is not bad, but just always remember that the free one is likely to be more accessible than the paid one. So always remember that. And again, remember, don't put your sensitive material there. AI can also, for the qualitative, you can get the themes. Once you give it your transcript, you can ask it to tell you the themes. Or some of the researchers, for example, when I did a research on study abroad, and I used what we call this SELEB scale, which has 4 themes. So those who do qualitative know you can have your pre-themes before to see if the data is falling within your themes, or you can generate themes after the code, after the transcribing. So if you have the themes before, then it is easier. You can ask ChatGPT by downloading your transcripts to give you the themes according to the pre-themes, or to give you the themes if you don't have the pre-themes. So whichever one works for you is okay. It can detect patterns, relationships within the data. It can help you to analyze the memos, exploring any emerging insights. For the quantitative scholars, you can generate codes. It can test the selection, identify the most appropriate statistical test for your research questions, whether it's the structural equation modeling or regression, whether you are using the ANOVAs or the t-test, it will actually tell you. And then finally, it's able to interpret for you the results. So you can get your SPSS results, and it will be able to interpret to you all the p-values, and and eventually help you write your discussion and conclusion and implication for your study. And then we have the writing part, where you can transform your writing process with AI support. It can help you to generate the sections, the outlines, the chapters, and you can tell it to write in the style that you need to write in. Is it APA? Is it Chicago style? Is it the Harvard review style? So you can always tell it. Remember, you are the expert. So you can tell it, and it can help you to format according to your writing style. Citation, again, is the same way. It will format your references accordingly, but always make sure, again, counter check. Go back and make sure. Sometimes it generates things that are not there. One time I saw somebody had posted something, and ChatGPT had just, I don't know what they used. I can't remember what they used, but the poster had so many errors, like so many errors. Instead of putting their name as PhD, it had written PHDD. You see, so you have to go back and edit. Never just generate and just copy and paste. You are the human, and the human is more intelligent than the artificial intelligence. It will strengthen your logic flow and build your compelling academic argument. It will refine your language for clarity, formality, and scholarly precision. At the same time, it will weave your literature review to have a coherent narrative. So you are the expert telling it, and it's gonna do this for you. And you just give it the prompts step by step, and boom, you have your material. Again, remember, it's just to help you, but you are supposed to feed in the meat. It gives you the skeleton, you put in the meat and the everything that makes it to be a whole article, research article, journal, thesis, dissertation, whatever you're working on. Yeah, so these are some of I've not tested this other one, Tick by Zindi, but these ones are very, very accessible, very friendly. You can use it on your mobile phone, and they can help you in any area of your study. So ChatGPT is the most common one because one, somebody said they hype it too much, and two, they really do a lot of research. Gemini is free if you have Google, and it is actually very, very good. And I think it's free for students too. Perplexity is free for students. If you sign in with your student account, I don't know whether it's possible in Kenya, but if you sign in here with your student account, it's actually free. And yesterday I was learning that now Perplexity has more. It has ChatGPT inside. It has many other tools within Perplexity. So now people are just like paying for Perplexity, and they're getting more of what they need instead of paying for ChatGPT, Elicit, Semantic Scholar, Site.ai. So again, as I said in the beginning, tomorrow's AI will be better than today. So every day there's something out there that is being researched on. So this would just be for today. Tomorrow we may have other things. So before I demonstrate, I just want again to go through this and make sure for your ethical AI use, you just want to make sure your integrity matters. You don't want to put in so much and then somebody flags your paper, somebody flags your dissertation or your thesis and says that you copied. Verify the outputs. Always fact check AI generated information against credible sources. That is why you ask it to give you the paper, the journal article, so that you have the PDF copy. So if it tells you Opiri 2025 found that fashion entrepreneurs in rural America are likely to use AI, you can read that and see because you have the article. Otherwise, it may just be coming up with things that are not true. So make sure before you cite, before you put it in your reference list, it's an article that you have read, you have seen, and it actually downloaded that article for you. That leads you to cite the source and not AI. Some journals will want to know whether you used AI for formatting. I have a journal that I submitted my paper, and they wanted to know, and actually put a note at the end of it and said, yes, I used Claude.ai to format. So I wrote everything, and then I put in my article and I asked it, please format according to the Journal of Family and Consumer Sciences. So it actually formatted like that. And at the end of it, I put a disclosure and said, this article, everything, I did it myself, but the Claude.ai helped me to format so that my readers are able to understand. It helps to flow. You know, sometimes you'll be thinking and things are not flowing, but once you give AI, it's able to help it flow seamlessly, and your readers can follow as they go along. So make sure if the journal or if your professor asks you, just let them know you just use it for formatting, and that is if you used it for formatting. But if you copied and pasted, then that is not right. That is not academically being a person of integrity. Again, I said ChatGPT can create for you data. AI can create for you data. Please do not fabricate data. Do not let it invent statistics, quotes, or research findings. Have your research findings, have your data, have your quotes from your participants, and then it can now use that to help you maybe generate the themes, to help you interpret what you have written, but do not allow it to generate for you. Sometimes as people people who do research, you want shortcuts because like some universities here, you either perish or you die. Perish or publish or perish. That means if you don't publish, you're going to be fired, which makes people to take a shortcut. But as we have said, it's still going to save you time, so there's no need for a shortcut. Never put sensitive participants' data or confidential information on AI. As I said in the beginning, your participants, remember you told them it is confidential, it is anonymous, and you don't want one day when AI breaks loose, their names are out there and it is because of you. So make sure any information you do not want to be public, keep it private. Do not send it to AI. Follow your institutional guidelines on acknowledging AI, as I said, or the journal articles on acknowledging AI. If you have used it for formatting, for grammar check, for spelling check, it's okay. Let them know you use it for that. And remember, we said it's helping you all other things, but not you copying and pasting. Okay, so as I said, initially when AI came, it was more of prompts, and people are like, oh, you need to be a prompt engineer, you need to know how to do all the prompts. But now more research has shown that as long as you give it like a detailed task of what you want to do, it will be able to give you good feedback. And as long as you are asking it to ask you a question for clarity, then it will be able to do the right thing. So you can ask things like act as a researcher librarian, and my topic is, I gave an example of mobile banking adoption among rural Kenyan households, generates search keywords that I can use for this study. A prompt like summarize this abstract into 120 words and identify 3 major themes with supporting evidence from the text. In this way, it will not form its own words. It will have to show you exactly where it got its words. A tip for you is be specific, be detailed for your prompt to yield better results. Tell AI your context, your role, and exact output needs. And in case it's not like that, tell it to ask you a question. So remember that. If you are in class, you do this. So I'll just like switch off to show you, to demonstrate. Stop sharing this. Exit. And so I will use ChatGPT, which is the most common one. I'll stop share and share again, because when I double share, I lose the... So we'll start with, as I told you earlier, I teach fashion, textiles, and design. So I'll give an example of a research that I would love to do, and I'll just ask AI to generate for me a research gap. So this is what you can do. You have ideas like you are thinking of what is it I can research about. You are a student, you want to do a master's, your PhD, you are a professor, you are working on your journal articles, and you're thinking like, I really want to do a topic on fashion entrepreneurship and AI and maybe rural small businesses. So I will ask ChatGPT to identify for me a gap and suggest maybe two topics that I can deal with. So this one has a voice activation, so I'll just dictate instead of typing. I am a researcher and I would like to do a research on fashion entrepreneurship in rural areas, and how AI can help the small fashion business owners in such areas. Suggest research gaps and identify 3 research topics that I can do research on. So I want it, as I said, just like I am, it will edit. I have Grammarly, so it helps me to edit. And then I say, ask me any question. Sorry. Any question? And so it has, you can see here are 3 strong research gaps and topics you can investigate for fashion entrepreneurship in rural areas and the role of AI plus 1 clarifying question. So identify research gaps proposed. So one of the areas is it has given me areas and it has even given me a topic. So most studies focus on urban. It has given me the gap. Most studies focus on urban or tech-enabled fashion small businesses. Rural fashion entrepreneurs often lack 1, 2, 3, 4, yet they have unique cultural assets, craft practices, community networks. So digital readiness and AI adoption among this would be one of it. And so I can examine that. And then the second gap is existing AI tools, for example, Clio, 3D, Canva AI, ChatGPT, VIY, are built for well-resourced users. There's little research on frugal, low resource or mobile-based AI that fits rural context. So it has suggested for me these 2 topics. And then also has given me a third one and a third topic, and has given me a question that it has asked me. Before I finalize your research design, may I ask one clarifying question? Are you focusing on rural areas in Kenya? So one thing that ChatGPT does, it kind of knows you, like mine has known me, all that prompts that I've done. And so it always goes back to the history to like prompt me, do I want to do Kenya because I've asked things about Kenya, rural areas in the US or rural areas in both contexts for comparison. So remember we said one of the things, it doesn't know my context, so I have to tell it. And so in that way, it will now tell me the sample population and how I can continue to continue with my research. So you can see it has given me a lot of details. So I will answer the question and probably take, let me say, I take this question and I tell it in Kenya. Control, copy. So it continues to ask you more questions. And even as I said, it continues to propose for you the framework and the research objectives, the research questions, the conceptual framework, the methodology, the data collection, oh my God, the data analysis, the potential AI tools to support. So this is what the paid version can do. Like instantly, it can give you that. But I want the literature so that I can read and be able to get the knowledge myself. So I will ask it to generate for me first, before we continue, to generate for me the journal articles. So I'll put this, I will tell it. Generate 5 journal articles that address the following research question and get a downloadable link to these journal articles. So I've pasted and put back the research question. Remember, I chose this research question, and let's see what happens. So I really want to read the journal articles because AI is tempting me to take a shortcut. I don't want a shortcut. I want to do the right thing. So remember, we said we want to be ethical, and so we just want to do the right thing. So this is the right thing we are doing, and you can see it has generated for me the 5 journal articles and given me a reason why each of the article is relevant. So my question was, sustainable livelihood through AI-supported fashion entrepreneurship, analyzing economic, social, cultural outcomes in rural communities. And we said Kenya. And so it has given me this, why it is important. It uses sustainable livelihood frameworks in rural entrepreneurship, etc. And so when I click on this link, it has given me the link. I asked it to give me the link so that we are doing the real articles and not generic articles. And so I don't know if you can see, I will stop to share again because when I share when I double share, usually I always lose the first sharing. So this is one of the articles, Rural Entrepreneurship and Analysis of Current and Emerging Issues from the Sustainable Livelihood Framework. And I can download it and read it. And also I can ask it to summarize. So if you know a notebook, LLM is from Google, it summarizes for you and it highlights for you when you on the PDF, it can summarize and highlight for you where each of the summary came from. ChatGPT can do the same if you tell it, summarize this article and of course, give it what you want to do. So now you have your article. Remember, if you didn't have AI, you would go to the library and search for all these articles or type in Google Scholar for the keywords so that you get the journal articles you need. But with AI now, I'm able to get this. I can download it and read it. And then I will go back and see the other articles. So all these articles, once you tell it to get to the articles, they're actually there. They are real. You can look at them and you can read them. And so now I'll move on to the next step where now you ask it to create for you a matrix table that compares those journal articles along each other so that you know what they are, each study had, who are the participants, what method was used, what were the results. And that way now you have a whole literature review table that can help you now to start writing your literature review. I will go back to my ChatGPT. So ChatGPT can do the same. And then we have another one that I use. It's called SciSpace. It's here. I don't know if you will be able to see it. It's called SciSpace. And you can still give it the same question and it will generate for you. It will generate for you journal articles. I just wanted to show you this. Generate. 5 articles for this study. It's me. I've used it for 1 year, but I did not renew the payment. It was like I can't remember how much. It was like $10 a month. So you can do deep research or you can just do research generally. So this one is going to also generate for us the journal articles. And I don't know if you've heard about Agent AI. Agent AI is where the AI like looks for agents. You know how we have like agents? You have, oh, this is a Safaricom agent. This is a Kenya Commercial Bank agent. So AI has agents that go in and now look for what you're looking for. For example, an agent can go into an email and summarize for you the most important emails that you got today and tell you that you need to see a doctor. And then you can tell it to book for you a doctor's appointment, and it goes ahead and books a doctor's appointment for you. Or it tells you need to book your air ticket, and you can tell it to go and book the air ticket for you. So we have what we call the AI agents that help you with that. So this one is asking me for clarifying questions again. And so I clarified the questions and the feedback, but okay, I'll just go back to ChatGPT, but I was just letting you know that you can use this one to give you the journal articles that you need. So I wanted journal articles, but it's asking me all these questions and all that. Let's save time and go back, but that one can also be used. Okay, so we have our 5 articles. We are ready, and I want it to create for me. It's asking me, would you like me to locate more articles with direct fashion plus AI plus rural focus and compile the links into a spreadsheet for you? It can do that. Now you see it can do that, but we don't want to do that. I want it to create a matrix for us for synthesizing. Using the 5 articles that you found, create a matrix table to compare side by side the objectives, the methods, the participants, the results, and the implication for each of the study that is relevant to the study that I am carrying out. So I love to speak to it. It's faster than having to type. So I speak to it, it generates, I edit, and then we move on. It disappeared. What did I do? Did I click it off? Okay, I'll do it again. Using the articles, the 5 journal articles that you found, generate a matrix table to compare these articles side by side, the purpose of the study, the objectives of the study, the participants, the methods, the data analysis, the results and findings, the implications, and the conclusion of each of the studies as related to my research question. Then using the articles, the 5 articles that you generated, the 5 journal articles that you found, generate a matrix table to compare them. Side by side. Include what's the study? So alternatively, you can download all the articles and then paste them back. So you can download, but I'm assuming it has access to these journal articles. And so I just like, it didn't create a table for me. What happened? I want a table. Did it? Okay. Below is the matrix table created from the 5 journal articles. Okay, it's creating it. Explore barriers. Okay, so these tables, it just gave me the sample. These tables run across like that. So this is the first journal article. That was the purpose. This is the objective, and then this is the objective again, and the methods were rural entrepreneurs across multiple agricultural sector. The method is systematic review and qualitative thematic synthesis. And the data analysis is thematic coding. Livelihood, that is the next one, is key findings is livelihood. Success depends on access to human social capital. And then the next one is, if we move this, so I don't know why it's refused to create the whole table, but you can see once you follow, I was trying to move this, but once you follow, it is the objective, the participant, the methods, analyzing findings, implications, and conclusion. So for example, this second one is Africa Fashion Futures and Creative Economies. This was the objective, and explore fashion entrepreneurship. Our objectives, analyze cultural identity. It goes on, the participants were this, the method is that, and the findings and all that. So each of the 5, it has already given me the 5 of them. And I just wanted to say here that you can go ahead and download your journal articles. And then when you click here, you can feed the journal articles here. So you can, so that once it's telling you, you can ask it, which page did you get this sentence? And so this is just for adding. You can add any material from your, wherever it is. You can just click here and add wherever you need to add from your folders, and then you give it to use it to answer your question. So it goes ahead to create a full bibliography if you want, to write literature review section, synthesizing all the 5 sources, build a conceptual framework tailored to your research, or draft a methodology section based on that. So once you have this, I would recommend that once you have this, now you can start building your literature review. Get a draft of your literature review before you move on to ask it to generate for you. So once you have, remember, the human has to work fast, and then AI is making it more efficient. And so now you can ask it to refine your literature review. Otherwise, as I say, it is always tempting, and you have to have breaks so that you don't find yourself getting into this mess. I think the one that I would ask it to do for me, if I was doing this research, is just build for me a conceptual framework and see how it looks like. And as I said again, it is going to generate that, and you can now ask it, which method can I use to collect this data for this research, and create for me the interview question. So I'm just asking it to create for me the conceptual framework that I need. And I will wait. It's taking a little more time, but again, I know you have seen how you can do the matrix to just help you start writing your literature review without having to spend hours reading those articles. So I can ask it to suggest the research method that I can use to collect data for this research, and give me reasons why you think that is the best method. Work on. So as it's waiting, I can. So the other one that you can use is called Cloud. Cloud is also very, very good. It's very good for coding. And you can use it for coding. It's very good at writing. It's very good at formatting, and you can always ask it the same way, the same questions we have done. Build a conceptual framework. It will ask me which framework, but just the same thing is suggest. This one I've not paid for it, so it doesn't have the voice activation. So I actually have to type suggest research topics. So where it can also develop for you so many research topics. I just gave it generic. So Cloud.ai is also good. It really writes comprehensively, especially when you pay for it. It really does a good job. When you pay for it, it can help you format your work in a very, very neat way. Another AI tool that you can use, as I said, is Perplexity. And yesterday, I just read that Perplexity has incorporated so many other AI tools in it. This is how it looks like. And again, you can ask it any question, you can compare, it can learn, you can summarize. You just need to attach what the article that you have. So this one also is not paid. So I have only 3 left today. So again, it's the same thing. Another one tool that you can use is called Manas. Manas is also very comprehensive. I've used it once, but not as much. It can build you a website, it can create slides, and it can do a wide research. So you can just play around with them. Then there's this other one that is from China. I love it. It's very, very detailed. Like it gives you, again, exactly where it's getting the material from. So you can ask it, it can deep think, it can just search, and then it can give you, again, what you need. But again, remember, if you're using a free version, you want not to put there your whole paper because it will be out before you even publish it, because it's a free version and this is AI. So you can only trust the one that you're paying for to give you a whole paper to help you format it. So here is our conceptual framework. As you can see, it has created for me a conceptual framework that I can edit and use and enable me to work on my research without having to think so hard. So again, you are the expert. So go in and edit and see if this flow makes sense. Is this flow making sense, or is it just generating from nowhere? So I know my time is almost up. Let me do this and see. I'm now on my methods and it's creating for me a method. Recommended method is here. And it tells me mixed method is highly recommended because it tells you the how and the why. Yeah, I love mixed method. So it also goes ahead to tell you, so you'll have qualitative data to understand the lived experiences and the cultural meaning, and quantitative data to analyze the income, the business growth, and etc. So it tells you the components where you need, if you need the focus group, the observation, and the why, the quantitative component, and even you can ask it to suggest for you the tools, the surveys that are already there, or create for you the survey. So it gives you the table to summarize what you need. And then once you have your data, you collect it again, you are able to ask it to transcribe for you. You ask it, it can transcribe for you, by the way, using we have tools for transcription. Remember a long time ago when I did my dissertation, I literally had to read through and write, listen and write, listen and type, listen and type. And you can only imagine I had 15 participants, interviews, how long it took. But with AI, we have tools that can transcribe for you within a short time. You have your transcripts, input here, it generates for you the themes, and it helps you to write your research article. So I can say that AI will help us to save time. It will help us to do what we need to do and to be ready to work with it ethically without having to plagiarize, but doing the right thing. So just as I summarize, just that was because we can demonstrate the whole day. As I summarize, I just want to say that you are the expert. AI is just here to help us. And so you need to just do the right thing to enable you put your work out there and save time and energy. Don't be left out because you're scared of AI. No, it's here and it's going to help us. So AI is a powerful assistant and not a replacement of your expertise. Start small with free mobile-friendly tools. Always verify, cite properly, and maintain ethics. Build community to share tips and overcome barriers together so that you learn together, you grow together. I know others are already experts, others are starting, others are midway, but whichever where you are, AI every day is a new thing. Today's AI is the least version. Tomorrow's AI will be better than today. So I just want to stop there and ask if we have any questions. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much, Prof, for that engaging session that also combined the practice and also motivated us, those who maybe are holding back on using AI, to start thinking about it and start using it ethically. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I see we have a couple of questions that are on chat. Maybe I can just read a few. We have maintained the 100 capacity. Just to mention that the participants are also drawn not just from Kenya, they are drawn from other countries in Africa especially as well. So it's a mixture of participants. So let's see the questions we have. Okay, to do the slides, you mentioned, do you upload your notes on AI? That's one of the questions. Wouldn't Turnitin detect? So I think this is for when you use AI to write a paper, can Turnitin detect it? So maybe you can mention something there. Is it bad to attach my raw data for AI to analyze for me? I think you mentioned that you've used it that way, but there's someone who's asking to analyze for me. After the analysis, should I bring it down? Okay, so you can speak a bit about the ethics of uploading your entire raw data, and are you able to pull it down afterwards so that your participants' issues are not left on the internet? Then there's another one. If I put my whole thesis for review, wouldn't it be detected by AI? So someone is asking about a full thesis. You worked on it, then you want to put it on AI. Let's see. This is good, but imagine the number of researchers that we have worldwide. Aren't we gonna collide with the same research if all of us do that? And maybe the one who finishes first owns the work. Okay, so there's that question. If your institution has not subscribed to that database, will you still be able to get that article? Okay. So especially for the African context where sometimes it's quite difficult to get some of the articles. Probably AI has generated an article and your institution has not subscribed. Can you get it? Hi, Prof. If your research
Yes.
work is 80%, 80% guided by AI, Is that still your work? What is the future of academics in the age of AI? So there's some concern there. Whose work is it? Since is it you? Is it AI? Do you say you co-worked with AI? And what's the future looking like? Yeah, even for me, I'm wondering where is the mind of the researcher? I also use AI sometimes, but I wonder if we use it so intensely, who is thinking now? So maybe that's the future. There's also someone, do you have an AI policy at your university? As a university, okay? Then finally, if I want to detect ethical use in a thesis, won't that jeopardize, given that you said that the information can be taken by AI? Okay, so maybe if you place to check the credibility, then the work now becomes part of AI generative stuff. Is it okay to share the slides? Finally, how can we minimize hallucination by AI? How best can we help AI contextualize research to our local setting? So great questions. We are in an era that is moving faster than us. And so this is important for us to discuss. So over to you, Prof, for what
Yeah,
you
thank
can
you.
answer.
Thank you so much, Auleria. There are many questions, but I can just I see the themes where they are. One thing is, again, we said that AI, everything, a colleague of mine did an experiment and took their purpose statement. You know how in the US, before you are admitted for a PhD program, you write a purpose statement, why you want to do the program, and why and where the future is with the program. And so she wrote in the 90s and she uploaded it to an AI detector and asked the AI, is this AI created? And guess what? The AI detector said, yes, this is AI generated. And in the 1990, there was not as much AI as it is today. We didn't have AI then that was available to the public. So what I'm trying to say is that the AI agents are able to go into, you know how the agents work. They are able to go everywhere and search and search and search. So eventually, at the end of the day, I look at it and see everything AI will say everything is AI generated. Because if it could tell this lady's work was AI generated and it was in the 90s, then that is where AI is taking us. And as I said, the agents are searching everywhere to bring all this knowledge together. So another thing I can say about ethics, once you use your data, you can always remove it. There will be an X there and remove it. And that is why I say the best thing is do not upload your whole thesis. You can ask it to format for you, like Grammarly. I don't know if you are accessible to Grammarly. Grammarly has been there. We've been using it before the AI became like publicly available. Remember, AI has been there, but just for a few people who could be able to use it. And now it is now available for everyone. So with Grammarly, you can always take the whole paper and it will help you to edit, to delete. You saw how when I was putting a prompt, the red lines, that is Grammarly. It was able to refresh for me my sentences so that my sentences make sense. So you can do that with AI, which is Grammarly. And then I always, as I said earlier, do not put any data that can compromise your participants, can compromise your institution if your institution is not has a policy of AI. So somebody asked about AI policy in my university. My university is actually, I can say, it's a laggard. You know, those people who don't run fast with innovations and new things. They kind of are in between, not ready, they are still wondering what's going to happen. But me as an individual, I'm just this is out here, why not use it? So when I even teach my students, I tell my students you're going to compete in a world where there's AI. And if I am the employer and I have one employee who tells me, I can write for you a grant in 2 days, and another one is telling me, I can write for you a grant in 3 months, whom am I going to employ? the one that is telling me 2 days. Why? Because they can use AI ethically. So I know it raises a lot of questions, but you should be the thinking. You should be the human in the loop. Draft your whole article. Let it give you the stop at the literature table, literature review table. Use it to write so that you don't lose your critical thinking skills. As I said, they did a research in MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. They gave a group of students started to work with AI. Another group used their head and did not use AI. The third group started using their head first, brain thinking, and then used AI. Then when they brought the three together, those that did so well, and even their brain cells were very, very active, were the ones who started using their brain first and then refined with AI. But the ones who used their brain alone, they were kind of number two, and the ones who used AI only were the last one. So that means when we just use AI alone, it is going to affect our critical thinking. But when we combine the two, but first begin with our brain, then we are more likely to be efficient. So just know that begin the temptation. You saw how it was tempting me, like, can I go ahead and do this? No, I'm not doing that. Let me first do what I need to do, and then I'll come back and ask you the next question. So that is what you do. And then context, again, is hard. That is why I said, tell it to ask me any question. And even the research has shown that in creating, I use Google Gemini to create storybooks. And if I don't tell it to use an African American character, it always generates a white man. If you don't tell it to use African American, it generates white people. So that has been known with AI. So always give it the exact prompts, and if you're not sure, tell it, ask me any question. It will ask you for clarification. Did I answer all? Yeah, so the PowerPoints, so what I do, I make, I'm teaching, I told you I teach fashion, I'm a fashion professor, so I have my notes, having read the book, and I also have my old notes. In fact, what I've done, I've taken my old notes, my old PowerPoints, and uploaded them on gamma.ai, and it has produced for me more beautiful and just cute notes for my students. So you can create a skeleton of your notes and tell ChatGPT to create for you slides, and then you copy that and take it to gamma.ai. So gamma.ai is actually for generating, let me see if I can get it, I can show you. So gamma.ai will help you just to, where is it? Exit. So once you are on Gamma, this is how it looks like, and you can just put your notes there and ask it to generate if you want detailed. I lost it. If you want detail or you just want skeleton, it will do for you that, and it will save you time. So in fact, some people have not done it that way, but some people would just tell it, create for me notes on fashion entrepreneurship, and it will actually create for you the notes. But again, remember, it hallucinates. It's not easy to prevent hallucination, somebody asked, but yours is just to make sure, to be the human in the loop, to go back and do it, and make sure the information is the accurate one. So you see, when you go to these slides, you can ask it to, let me do it again, share, okay, it was sharing. So you can paste your text, you can ask it to generate, you can import the notes, you can carry the notes from the textbook and add them here, and you can have a remix template, and then you ask it just to generate for you. So that is what, yeah, understanding the job market, like this one, and then it will produce for you. Do you want to create details? And then you say yes, and it's gonna generate for you. You even pick the style that you want, and it's going to generate for you what you need for your students, wherever you're doing. So you can see it's generating for me. I gave it a prompt, and it's actually generating for me the slides that I need for this but I have to go in because sometimes the spelling is wrong, the data is not right, because again, we said that is AI. So I said, make it detailed. It has made it so detailed, and you can see, you can tell it to make it minimal. It will give you 1 or 2 sentences like what I did. I told it to make it minimal, and so it just gave me the bullet points. But you can do as much as you can. Like you can see now, it is doing the extra. So did I answer everything? What did I not answer? Turnitin. Okay, Turnitin, as I said, all AI research has shown that the AI tools hallucinate, and they may not give you the accurate possibility that this student used AI for writing. So we've been told not to rely so much on them. As I told you, an example of the lady who took her purpose statement, she's my friend, and it said it's AI generated. So it can lie, and you can easily penalize a student for the things they have done on their own and thinking it's AI. So that is where it is. Turnitin has not been 100%, and we have other AI tools that are used to detect, but they are not 100% because, as we said, they are hallucinating. So just know that. So we have for the, if you want, for the lecturers, for the teachers on the call, Google has it has an extension that you can use to track how your students were doing their work. So you give your students and then you track how they were working. I want to see how you are working. So it shows when they copied and pasted. It shows when they were working on, when you click on it, it shows they were working on the article. So that one really, really helps. And this leads me to say that the future may be where exams will not be written papers, because now everybody is using AI. It will be calling a student and asking them, tell me what you got from this class, or telling the student to prepare and explain what they learned, or create a project, and not just like the way we've been writing papers and writing papers and writing papers. So for integrity colleagues, I would just say, let it make for you the skeleton. Do not lose your thinking part. Remember, you begin and then you end with it. And then if the journal article asks you, just acknowledge for formatting. Do not upload your whole thesis. You can upload parts to help you, and then move on to parts and parts and parts. Do not put the whole of it there, because remember, AI is using, especially if it is free, it is using your material to train the AI. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. I was just sharing ways that people will get the recording. Of course, for Zoom, it takes a bit of maybe a couple of, maybe some minutes to prepare the Zoom, and then we usually turn the recording into a YouTube link. So I've put the link to our YouTube page where you can access the recording. For those who are not in the Africana Journal Club, this is the club that we organize all these sessions so that researchers, masters and PhD mainly, can have more information that helps them to build their research work. So I've also put the link for those who are not in the club. Please join. We do also other activities, including members presenting their research papers and us giving them feedback as a collective. So let's see if there are more questions. So these are a lot.
There's this question somebody had asked, I just remembered it, like people will collide because of the same research. Again, remember, you are the one thinking of this research. Like I'm thinking about fashion entrepreneurship, AI, and rural areas, and it's giving me the gaps that are relevant to my context. So somebody else may not even be thinking about that. Maybe they're just thinking of fashion entrepreneurship and technology in general. So to me, I think there will be no colliding, because you begin the idea, just like before, you are beginning the idea, but then AI is just helping you to like make it run with it faster and streamline the whole process. But the idea is yours, just like before, but now you have the tool that is helping you. So I tend to think it will not collide. It will just be like there will be so much information out there, because now the time for processing is shorter and we can just do as much as we can. And so to grants, so if you are writing grants, AI can really help you a lot to write your grants. And it can, people who have used it, as I said, I'm in the first one writing my grant. I hope I will let you know in the sessions if I get funded, but people are using it to get lots and lots of money. Yeah. So that is that is the future that we have. We cannot run away from it. And if you will be left behind, you may, by the time you notice, it will be too late. So just let's keep going with it. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Sylvester here who is raising an interesting point that because we are so much used to hustling,
Yes.
we kind of enjoy taking time to do things. So when it's too easy, it's troubling. Maybe you can comment about that.
Yeah, I can say it's very, very true. You know, you're used to like struggling, writing, like you can't just believe that, you know, how it created for us the table in seconds, like, oh my goodness. But imagine how much time it would take to create that table, read through each, and then create the table. I like creating the table when I'm writing my literature review, so I can always go back and see who said what and which finding, who found what when I'm writing my synthesis. So you can imagine how much time it would take for you to read those 5 articles and create the table. So it's very, very true. When you are used to hard things, you never know that there's the other soft side of life. So I give an example of, I'm used to a Dell, like the Dell laptop. And so my daughter is used to she was telling me for the longest, Mom, get a Apple MacBook, the Apple laptop. And I didn't know. She kept saying, so the last time, like a month ago, I got one and I was like, I was so much used to, you know, the Dell one uses a lot of energy. And I realized, oh my God, I've been suffering. The iPad one, the Apple one, it's so easy. You just click, boom, 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 boom. So when you are so used to so struggling, sometimes you doubt when life is too good. So yeah, I agree with Sylvester. So just know that it will save you time and energy. And here, that is what people are doing. Somebody has written, like the last 1 year, has written almost 30 journal articles. Can you believe it? 30 journal articles. And all of them, the journal, she just says she has used some AI and she specifies where she has used, and they have all been published. So she has put out new information. And again, the idea is yours. So think about that.
Great. Milka is asking, finally, we have 2 minutes.
Yes.
Can someone know AI generated data if used in a paper?
Okay, so especially if it is, I can say, especially if it is like maybe words, I can say, but some people can know, because if it is, and maybe let me go back. So why, because you are a scholar, right? You just want to do the right thing. So I would say, please do not generate that, because some journals will ask you IRB, and some will want to see the data that you collected. They want to see the raw data, the Excel sheets. People may not detect it, but it's just like, I think it's not ethical. I know, I guess it may not be detected, but it is not ethical. So I can say the best thing is just like I always tell my students, just do the right thing. You may not be caught, but deep down in you, you know, I did not do the right thing. So yeah, I'm not sure, but I would say just let us do the right thing.
You have heard from Prof. Let us do the right thing. And I like how you said use of AI doesn't mean you're not going to read papers. You will read. It is making access easy. Then you go and read them and understand what they're saying and apply our critical thinking. That's what I pick from what you said, Prof. That it's
Yes.
not like you just pick everything it says. You pull out the journals, go and read them, interrogate them, and then now you the human, are leading the process.
Exactly. Yeah. The human, remember the human in the loop. You are the one that directs this AI. Like, just make sure you are there, please. Start with your idea, let it help you generate it, and boom, it is your idea. It's not AI's idea.
Mm.
Yes.
It is an enabler, not a replacement. There's something like that you said. It is
Yes.
not replacing you. It's just
Mhm.
facilitating some ease within how we are working.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much. Yeah, and I see Warren says the assessment mode. Yeah, the assessment of students should now change. Even here, we are kind of changing because these kids are smart. They can generate a whole paper. I teach research methods, and I've seen a student generate a whole research with AI. So how do I catch them? Tell me what you did, how you did it, what you found out, and the recommendations. And I want on video, me and you, tell me or record and send it to me. And I catch them, I know, okay, you did not do this, because if you did it, you'd be able to tell me. So I think in the future, we just need to change and do assessment differently for the faculty, for the instructors, for the lecturers, for the professors. So that is where we are heading to.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prof. Jane. Thank you for taking time on a Saturday to just be with us. Thank you everyone for attending. We will continue communicating more webinars.
Teacher,
And
how are
yes.
you? Hope. Teacher, please, how are you?
Who is teacher? Who is speaking? Okay. So we wish to end here. We will just stay for a couple of 2 minutes for anyone who needs to copy anything on chat, the links. We will share the video on our website. We will share it on the Africana Journal Club page. And those who've WhatsApped me, when the video is ready, I'll forward to you. So we wish you well and thank you for coming. See you next month
Thank
for
you.
our
Thank
last
you so very
webinar.
much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
And if you want to follow me, I like to post all the new things on LinkedIn. Like there's a
Yes.
new lady that has invented something for braiding hair. There's with AI, like you just start
Wow.
braiding and then the machine finishes to braid the hair. So she's really working on it. It will soon be out. And then there is Nike have developed a shoe with AI that when you wear, it helps with your brain. So many things I like. When I get
Ooh.
new things, I'll put it on my LinkedIn. You can read. So my LinkedIn is Jen Andai, I think so. I forgot to put my QR code for you, but just, yeah. So things like that, yeah. So yeah, thank you all for coming to listen to me, and we look forward to learning more things. There are so many things out here, and just being open to learn and be the best wherever you are, and use it. I forgot to tell you that I also made GPTs that I was supposed to share for CBC to help kids with CBC. A parent can use their phone and put in the question, and then the question is translated both in English and Kiswahili, and the child gets homework to do while they're at home. So I just experimenting with that. Let me show those who are still here what I did. Share. It's this one. I think share. So it's got a GPT where you can create your own. And so I created my GPT. I called it Teacher Akili. I created this. I have the CBC expert, this one. And I just created by me, you can see. And so you can ask it to explain, suggest homework activities for literacy. And so when you do that, it actually generates both English and Kiswahili. And so a parent can just get homework for the kids, and it's both English and Kiswahili. Let's see where the Kiswahili is. it's parent friendly and you can do it on the phone. Kwenye CBC umehiri wa kusoma na kuandika kuhusu tu herufu. So again, it may hallucinate, but it's trying. I did it with my nephews and nieces and they liked it. So you can even ask it to like create homework, create grade 1 homework on numbers 1 to 10. So just playing with AI, you can create your own GPTs that can help solve problems. So I created that one, the CBC expert, a research coach. I'm still working on this. So I didn't want to share with you this one. I just wanted to use the one that is already there. But I'm creating a research coach that it can help you. I'm practicing it with my students. And so you can see homework is here. Count, draw balls, draw 2 balls, draw 5 mangoes, draw 9 sticks. And then it gives you also in Swahili. Kazi ya nyumbani, andika kila nambari 1 to 10. Alafu chora mipira mbili, chora maembe 5, chora vijiti 9. And so a parent is able to help their kids at home with the CBC aligned curriculum. So yeah, those are some of the things I've been doing as I experiment with AI.
So brilliant. Wonderful. That is such a challenge and an opportunity for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, and you see my research coach is here just like working on it. How can I help you? How do I write a strong literature review? You can always ask it and it can show you, but I've not like worked hard on it. What stage? We'll ask you a few questions and then again, you clarify and you move on with it. So once it's ready, I can send it out Auleria for the group to practice it and see and give me feedback.
Absolutely. Please do.
I will. Thank you.
Okay. See a lot of thank yous coming in.
Yes.
Everyone has really enjoyed the session. And we just want to say thank you. And we are going to practice ethical use of AI. Now we will not be shy.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I wish I would just reply to everyone. I'm so grateful it's my pleasure that you just came to listen to me. And again, as I said, don't be scared. We are in it together and let us learn. This other side of the world, people are running with it. Businesses are using it. Everyone is using it. Let us not be shy. Let us use it. Let us run with it. And so thank you so much. You all have a wonderful weekend and we'll see you whenever Auleria calls me in.
Okay, brilliant. Karista, please save the chat so that for those who will need the recording. So bye-bye, everybody. Have a lovely evening. If it's evening, if it's morning, have a good morning.
Thank you.
And bye-bye.
Bye.